Hey, happy Saturday, y'all. I'm feeling chatty, so we'll talk on the way home tonight. Before I get into that, does anybody have any experience with these? These are, this is an Amend, there you go, an Amend 2, I don't know if you can see that, Glock 9mm 18 round magazine. Shut the light now. The guy that gave it to me, my first patrol partner in Pennsylvania, I ran into him on the way to work. He ordered like, I don't know, 10 or 15 of them. He's like, here, take this, screw around with it. So I'm curious if anybody has any experience with those. Let me know in the comments on that. On to what I want to talk about. So my one sergeant, she works 8 p.m. to 6 a.m. 4 days a week. 410s is her run. Not a very good supervisor, but a good person. And she's a right-wing, gun-loving, freedom-loving, Constitution adherent individual like the rest of us. But she seems to think that come wintertime we're going to end up in a second wave of lockdowns. I said, nah. I think by election day, or the day after election day, one way or another, we're going to be done with COVID. Because it's going to be used for what the political powers that be need to use it for. And then poof, just like that, nobody was talking about it anymore. So we got into a good discussion on it. She was like, I keep talking about, second wave during flu season, fall, winter. And I said, I don't think so. I think depending on how the election's going, blue state governors are going to use it as a bludgeon for the president, kind of the way they've been doing. Caveat being, I live in a blue state that's probably more purple at this point. Well, last election cycle was more purple than blue. We turned out for Trump, and then come midterms, Pennsylvanians did what they do best and sent a bunch of Democrats to Congress. I don't understand that one. On a federal level, and then on a state level, pretty sure we stayed about the same. But old Wolfie, he's a slick one. He's figured out how to maximize revenue while maximizing the squeeze. Unlike New York and New Jersey, he hasn't completely killed indoor dining. He's just left it open enough that you can do it. I think it's like 25% capacity. Because a lot of our state's industry is based on tourism from New York and New Jersey. And what those states don't have is outdoor dining and certain types of outdoor recreation that old Wolfie's trying to capitalize on to bring in that tax revenue, which he did right through locking down the small businesses, the mom and pops, the non-essentials, if you will, through the initial onset of the disease. He kept just enough businesses open and look the other way for just enough businesses that probably shouldn't have been open, like hotels that were supposed to close, but there were plenty in my area that never closed. I'll tell you that straight away. It kept the out-of-staters coming in and spending money. I don't think he wants to risk the tax revenue. That's just my personal opinion. He might squeeze the nuts of small business a little bit more if he thinks it's beneficial. But he wants that tax revenue. But my question to you is, will they try and pull a second lockdown come winter time? Or more along the lines of when I think they'll try and pull it is, I don't know, right around the second week of October through the second week of November, kind of to force those mail-in ballots. As opposed to in-person voting. Make it hurt just enough. Let the mainstream media get out there and scream just enough about how the president botched the coronavirus thing leading up to that election, so that people are butthurt and pissed off enough to check the D box. That would be D for douchecrat, in case you were wondering. But if they can find enough cause to say, hey, this virus is making a resurgence now that the weather's cooled down a little bit, will they try and pull a second lockdown? Like I said, I'm not so sure that they will. Or at least not in the time frame that my sergeant thinks. I tend to think if they're going to try it, it's going to be pre-election day. Because everybody's got an October surprise, right? Curious to hear your opinions in the comments. Anyway, keep it short for you tonight. It's Saturday. I'm going home. One of the neighbor's friends, my friends, and his wife are up from Rockaway. They got out of the city for the weekend. The two lone Republicans that escaped New York, or at least the city part, are up in the Poconos for the weekend. So hopefully we'll be over there having a good old time playing Cards Against Humanity or something to that effect into the wee hours of the morning. Just enough to make that firewood deliverance coming tomorrow miserable. Anyway, I'm out for now. Be safe. Watch your six.